Well, with the whale story, Ryan.
Well, I'll tell you.
I'm having a wank. All right, Neil. Now that we've got our proper setting, let me teach you about the whales. It's time. A grown man's life, he needs to learn. All right, now the whales. They're an ancient species. They date back to when was that? About 200 BC, something like that. Moses, Jesus, they're together. They're homies. They're like,
Tight.
they're off in the Holy Land, fighting off the Romans, right? Because the Romans are attacking Mesopotamia, but they're together. You watching me here? You paying attention?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
So they're fighting off the Romans, and they got AK-47s, just like your local NRA video will show you. AK-47s fighting the Romans. When Jesus, Lord be the Savior, he sends us a shift in the time-space continuum, and then there's a rip in the fabric. Now there's other dimensions, and through this rift comes none other than Chuck fucking Norris. Alright? You getting this? You hear me?
I got you. Chuck fucking Norris.
Chuck fucking Norris.
This is a real story?
This is a real story, man. This is truth. This is in your science book. Okay. So Chuck Norris comes through the time-space rip, and he fights anything and everything that's alive, right? I mean, he's got that third fist under his beard, so he's just perfect fighter. But he's got to fight the biggest, baddest thing he can find. Well, that time rift happens to be in Hawaii. But Hawaii isn't Hawaii yet. It's just like a volcano right now. Hasn't formed all the islands yet. Since a volcano is the only thing around, Chuck decides, I'm going to fuck a volcano. So Chuck, through his magical glory, flies down to the volcano, lands on the base of the volcano, right? Starts to punch it. Now, what happens to a volcano when it gets punched? Do you know? No, you don't know? Tyler, do you know what happens to a volcano when it gets punched? Take a guess.
It cries.
No, it doesn't cry.
Wait, actually, Ryan, does it erupt?
It erupts. Very good.
Hey,
it erupts.
And it gets angry.
Now, my boy Jesus, God rest his soul, Jesus can sense this, and he knows what Chuck is about to do. Now, if Chuck punches that volcano, the whole world's going to be upset. Whole balance of the world is going to be upset. Volcano lava is going to be everywhere. It's going to be freaking Pompeii all over again. But Jesus can't leave.
Pompeii has already happened in this timeline?
Yes.
Okay.
Shut up. This is the truth, okay?
Okay. All right, this is the truth.
Look at that smoke, see?
Yep,
it's a sign from Jesus.
Yep.
Okay. So he can't leave Moses alone, because Moses would easily become overwhelmed by the Romans. So what does Jesus do? He invents a
harmonic?
No, not a subharmonic. That's a band.
Okay.
He invents an aquatic salt force, right?
Okay. To attack Chuck Norris.
To attack Chuck Norris and protect the world from the explosion that will happen.
Gotcha.
Now, what he invents, because there's nothing in the water this time except little tiny fish, right? They're like this big. Little tiny fish. He takes one of them little tiny fish, and he uses his Lord and Savior magic, and he creates whales.
Okay.
Giant-ass fish. You got freaking missiles that come out of their fins, like, boo, boo, boo! Alright? Now, he sends them off. They're supposed to be in the water, but because he knows he don't have the time for that shit, they can fly. Now, they're flying. Shut up, airplane, I'm telling a story. Lord will strike you down.
Dude, don't say that. What if it actually fucking comes down? That's the third time it's coming around.
Alright.
That's just really not good.
Okay, so the whales are off and going. They're going to fight the mighty and powerful Chuck Norris. But Jesus knows the whales will not be enough to protect this little island that he's going to make a great retirement home for old folks. But so he keeps a couple whales behind, right? And he injects them with steroids. Do you know what steroids do to a man, boy?
To a band?
To a boy.
Oh.
To a man. Do you know what steroids do to a man?
It makes him a bigger man?
It makes him a bigger man, but what else does it do?
Makes his penis small?
It makes his penis and his ball sacks the size of raisins. Don't do steroids.
Gotcha.
But it gives a couple of them a steroid, and the steroids mutate the whale and give it this funky texture, and they become his aquatic stealth force.
Why'd you just put the horns up?
I'm talking. I'm talking with my hands. I'm Italian.
Okay.
They become the aquatic stealth force known as dolphins. Fast little motherfuckers.
Okay.
Sends the dolphins off, right?
Sends the dolphins off.
So he's like, shit, what am I supposed to do now? I got nothing left. They're not going to be enough. One dolphin's kind of lagging around, you know. He's showing off to the ladies. He's like, you like that, girls? Yeah, you like that? You like that? Oh. Takes that dolphin who's being sacrilegious. Takes that dolphin and injects him with the worst possible disease known to mankind. AIDS. Very good, Joe. I'm glad you're following the story. Have you heard this one before? Stop me at any time if you have. Injects that motherfucker with AIDS, right? Now, what happens when you get AIDS? Eventually, you die. But in this story...
It's not the
what are you
infection
doing with
that
my
gets you.
stick, boy?
Continue the story.
But he takes the dolphin, injects it with the AIDS right into behind its flipper, and it becomes the aquatic assault force. It's a tank. It becomes a manatee. Or porpoise, if you like. And its porpoise in life. You like that little pun there? The porpoise is to help. They're the heavy artillery, right? They're slow moving, but they hit. Whoo! When they hit, boy, you're gonna regret that. Sends them off. They're slow moving though, so he knows he's got to send someone to protect them. Someone to hit Chuck Norris where it hurts, right? So he's got those empty syringes laying around, right? Takes dolphin, takes a manatee, kind of smooshes them together, right? So they're not as fat and bulgy. They're not really small and skinny. They're like kind of long and cylindrical. Takes that fucking needle, stabs it blunt end into its forehead, right? And then goes whoop, using his magic. Gives it a fucking horn. It's like unicorns in this shit. You know what that becomes, boy? Tyler, you know what happens when you take a dolphin and give it a horn? You know what it becomes?
Narwhal.
Unicorn.
Very good. Sea unicorns.
It's a unicorn of the sea.
Otherwise known as narwhals. They stop Cthulhu from eating you. But, you get the fucking narwhal, right? And he's like, good, this will be my fast-moving attack squad. Sends them off to fight Chuck Norris. They're all, okay, so the whales are there, the dolphins are there, fucking narwhals come flying out of the sky. Pew, 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 pew. Fucking manatees finally show up, start bombarding Chuck Norris. With all this, he's still sitting there punching the goddamn volcano. Hasn't even noticed them. So he does one final adjustment. He takes the whales and the dolphins, and he gives them all razor-sharp teeth. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
And he creates sharks.
Shark bait. Ooh-ah. Makes sharks. Specifically, the great white and the bull shark. Now, the bull shark, those are the meanest motherfuckers in the sea. They got the highest testosterone levels this side of Arnold Schwarzenegger. So he sends them off. And finally, with all this aquatic firepower, they distract Chuck long enough for Jesus to defeat the Romans. Now, Chuck's pretty pissed off that he didn't get to fight a volcano, right? Volcano's happy. Volcano's like, ooh, ah, 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 ooh, ah, 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 ooh, ah, ah, ah. So he don't explode just yet, because if he explode too soon, Hawaii will be created too soon, and then Hawaii will be capital of the United States. Won't want that. But, he gets distracted from fighting the volcano. He goes off to fight Jesus. And they are locked, to this day, in eternal combat, as they will be until the great day of rapture, when reckoning comes. And that's why there's whales in the sea. Any questions?
When the fuck does this take place?
I told you, 200 BC.
Okay.
And next week we'll do the birds and the bees.
Okay.
Oh.